Hi, I'm Phil Lobner.
And I'm Lauren Carroll, and this is Through the Lens.
Welcome back to our show where we feature our favorite media produced for CRS. Each of the featured images tells a story of dignity and resilience, whether people are facing food insecurity, rebuilding after a natural disaster, or simply living their everyday lives with hope.
Before we begin, we just need to say that we don't know the thoughts or feelings of the people in these photos, so all of our comments are just based on our observations.
So let's dive in.
Let's do it. Our first photo is by Oscar Leyva, and it features Jacinta Ramirez Cobo weaving traditional clothing to sell at the local markets. And in Guatemala, these woven patterns and colors tell stories of the local cultures, and this gorgeous red is very typical of Jacinta's community. And she's actually wearing one of her own creations here, which to me shows how proud she is to carry on this tradition. I also really love this dramatic angle that Oscar chose. It leads my eye right to her work and gives a sense of how intricate this art form is.
And the vibrancy is a nice contrast with her peaceful concentration. I also love how the wood and blue thread at the bottom creates a grounding frame for the whole scene. This is Alma Adoko from Kenya. You can't escape her gaze. You know, Lauren, the first thing people look for in a photo is a person's eyes.
That's true.
Yeah, it's an unconscious instinct.
I completely agree. Her intense gaze is hard to look away from. You know, she had to walk several miles to collect this water that she's carrying. And then the other thing that I wanted to point out about this photo is that haziness in the background and the barren landscape that we see there gives us a small glimpse into the harsh conditions that Elma and so many others face. This image was taken during the Feast of Our Lady of Guadalupe in Mexico City. This is a celebratory day. It's filled with processions and music and dancing. But I appreciate that this photo highlights a quieter, more intimate moment of one individual's personal devotion.
Yes, some Catholics make special promises or vows to Our Lady of Guadalupe. This promise is symbolized in an act known as a manda, where the faithful walk on their knees to the basilica. I love how the warm colors of the statue jump forward as if they're pulling him towards his goal, while at the same time, the cooler tones in his jacket and the rest of the photo fall back, creating a sense of reverence and humility.
Oh, I love how you said that, Phil. That was poetic. This is such a gorgeous photo. And just as a side note, the photographer Thor Morales grew up in Mexico, so he had an understanding of this cultural tradition. And I can sense his reverence for this act in the way that he also got down on his knees to capture this photo. This is Sidra. She's an 8-year-old girl from Lebanon. And despite the uncertainty of life in Lebanon right now, she's focusing on her schoolwork here. The photographer, Stephanie Glinsky, chose to focus on her hands and notebook as the sharpest elements in the frame. And to me, this really emphasizes Sidra's dedication to her studies.
You know, for me, it's an affirmation of perseverance. Still, that cracked mirror is a powerful reminder of her reality. And there's a mystery with it.
It is mysterious. And just to go back to that crack you mentioned for a second, I also find it really interesting that the image was composed in a way so that that crack falls over her heart in the reflection. Just a subtle detail that for me contributes to this feeling of tension between hope and struggle in this image. We hope you enjoyed taking a closer look at these incredible photos.
To find more content from CRS, make sure you check out the links in the description below. Thank you for coming, and we'll see you next time on Through the Lens.